morning. It's Friday, April 29th, 2016. I'm Candace Red. This morning, it's all about the NFL draft and the scandal hitting a former Ole Miss player. But first, let's talk about the weather with meteorologist Riley Hale. What's going on, Riley?
We're clear right now, but we actually do have the risk for severe weather today, so we're going to be monitoring that over the next 24 hours. Here's a look at our radar. We are tracking some thunderstorms just off to our northwest. This is crossing over into Arkansas from Oklahoma right now. They actually have a severe thunderstorm watches out across most of Arkansas. You can see those yellow shaded boxes right there. But heavy thunderstorm activity, that is going to be what's heading our way by later today. Already a couple severe thunderstorm warnings out for some of those systems. Now, this is forming along a warm front that's going to be working its way through the area today. We do have the threat for damaging winds, damaging hail, and can't rule out tornadoes as well. So we're going to be busy later this afternoon tracking these storms, and here's a look at that outlook. So we are in that slight risk. Anywhere in yellow, that's about a 15% chance of a severe storm across our area. So more on that coming up.
All right, thanks, Riley. So we begin this morning talking sports. The biggest story from the NFL draft last night, player Laremy Tunsil from Ole Miss sliding from the top after his social media accounts appeared to be hacked. Well, Brooke Silverbraga has the latest on the true drama of the night.
The hack played out in real time. Laremy Tunsil from Ole Miss was projected by some NFL experts as the #1 pick in last night's draft.
The Baltimore Ravens select Ronnie Stanley.
He watched player after player selected instead. Moments before the draft, hackers had taken over Tunsil's Twitter account and posted this video showing him smoking through a gas mask from a bong. Tunsil said the video was years old. Team after team took someone else.
The Miami Dolphins select Laremy Tunsil.
When the Dolphins finally drafted him with the 13th pick, Tunsil's night got worse. Hackers took over his Instagram account and posted text messages showing him asking for and receiving financial help from his coaches for his rent and his mom's bills. His college, Ole Miss, is already under investigation for similar violations. In a dramatic press conference, Tunsil said the messages were real.
I made a mistake, a huge mistake.
So was it an exchange between you and your coach for money?
I had to say yeah.
An assistant for Tunsil's agent soon pulled him from the podium. His rookie contract is projected to be about $12 million less than last night's top pick. Brooke Silverbraga for CBS News, New York.
In state news, the mayor of Gulfport has declared a state of emergency because of heavy rain and widespread flooding. Gulfport emergency managers say 5 to 12 inches of rain fell in the city during a thunderstorm. This all happened Thursday. Reporter Ashley Roderick has more.
Thursday morning, Gulfport woke up underwater. Roads were closed, schools were delayed or canceled, and rescue calls were coming in faster than first responders could answer. One of the neighborhoods that found itself in need of help was Northwood Hills on the northern end of town.
We've seen water rise in this neighborhood before, but never that magnitude and never that fast, and it actually overwhelmed the entire neighborhood until we had to have people to be rescued.
Yes, I actually evacuated my wife and kids out of the house. The fire department came through with the boats, and I threw them on one of the boats and got them out of here.
The residents who stayed wondered at one point whether that was the wrong choice as they watched water reach levels they'd last seen during Hurricane Katrina. That widespread flash flooding led to the mayor of Gulfport calling for a state of emergency. But fortunately, once the clouds cleared, so did almost every waterlogged road quickly. But the day was not without some damage.
Blessed that I did not get water in the house. As you can see, I did lose my fence, but I didn't get any water in the house.
And people in this neighborhood say an existing drainage problem appears to have only gotten worse.
This right now is preventing the 3 drains along the street right here from draining any of the water, which is why we flooded so bad.
While these neighbors are hoping the incident sheds light on their plight, many realize sometimes a heavy dose of Mother Nature is just part of wading through life on the Gulf Coast.
Speaking of flooding, residents in the city of Lehman in Harrison County are cleaning up after floodwaters destroyed several homes there. As Allison Spann reports, the cleanup process, well, it's far from over.
Flooding in Mississippi is nothing new to the Schubert family, who say this is the second time floodwaters have destroyed their home. Their house is the lowest one in a cul-de-sac, which leaves them vulnerable in situations like this. While the rest of their neighbors escape from the waters inside their homes, the Schuberts are trying to clean up the mess.
Last time that this happened, we had to second mortgage our home just to get it to where we could live in it again.
Tom Schubert recently quit his job to dedicate time to this, his own broadcast studio, which was destroyed early this morning. Despite the damage, he's still hopeful about the future.
It's just money, just things. You rip it up, our kids are safe. The dog's a little shook up, but we just rip it up and do it again.
Few people experienced home damage like that, but everyone experienced closed roadways and high floodwaters.
This is crazy. It hasn't been this bad in a while, but I've never seen that flooded.
Robinson Road, the roadway that we're on right now, is completely covered with fast-moving floodwaters. And this is not an unfamiliar scene in Lyman, Mississippi today. Some didn't stop at the barricades and ended up like this. And the waters rose so high in one neighborhood that a mother and her 3 kids had to be evacuated, along with all of their neighbors.
Woke up and the whole street was flooded. We couldn't get out, and the sheriff's truck came, and he came and got the whole neighborhood, and they brought us here.
Floodwaters, golf ball-sized hail, and strong wind hit coastal Mississippi today, with many saying they hadn't experienced anything like this in years. However, the high waters in the area began to recede this afternoon. For now, reporting in Lyman, Allison Spann.
In news across the Delta, flood victims in Washington County are getting the help they need after severe thunderstorms left homes and streets flooded last month. Organizations MACE and Delta Force are working together to help Greenville residents with the cleanup process. Delta Force was recently created as a community organization to specifically help residents affected by natural disasters. Volunteers and donations are drastically needed.
It's what we do. We accept volunteers from all over the community. We're an ecumenical organization, so please just come out and volunteer, and we will give you where and the time you can volunteer.
I feel great. I feel excited. I feel like I'm helping others.
It feels great, a great experience. You will.
To learn more about Delta Force or how you can help flood victims, visit the website shown right there on your screen. Now in business news, the Mississippi Wildlife and Heritage Museum will open in downtown Leland by spring of 2017. The museum will display hunting and fishing equipment along with an outdoor hall of fame. It'll also feature, get this, a collection of wildlife and outdoor gear. Billy Johnson is the president of the Mississippi Wildlife Heritage Foundation. He says the museum is extremely important, not just to the town of Leland, but to the entire state of Mississippi.
All of the different kinds of hunting and fishing that you can do and outdoor related activities in Mississippi, and put the history in one place. And any hunting and fishing artifacts or memorabilia, that you'd like to either loan or donate to the museum, we'd love to look at what you have.
Leland is already home to the Jim Henson and the Highway 61 Blues museums. The state of Mississippi is cracking down on copper theft. Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann was in Stoneville. This is all yesterday. He was there to promote the Mississippi Delta Agricultural Theft Task Force. Law enforcement from across Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana attended the event. Hosemann says that the task force links law enforcement, scrap metal recycling yards, and other parties.
It's a one-of-a-kind, unique effort by 3 different states, probably 50 different sheriff's organizations, and all of the scrap metal dealers in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi to prevent people from having a place to sell stolen copper.
The task force will use an early alert system administered by the Secretary of State's office. A walkathon is held to remember the life of 20-year-old Cameron Griffin. Well, Cameron was a Cleveland native who lost his life to heart disease last July. Family and friends held the Walk You Cam Remember event yesterday at Delta State University on the Green Mile Walking Trail.
But make certain that you get that echocardiogram. You can refer yourself. You do not need a physician to refer you. Just go out and refer yourself, find your cardiologist, the right one, and get tested, get the stress test.
All proceeds for the event went to the American Heart Association. And Greenville Public School District held its 3rd annual elementary art, music, and PE program last night. And this is all at the Washington County Convention Center in Greenville. Elementary students showcased their artwork and participated in a physical education component as well. A combined elementary choir also performed. Everett Chen is the Greenville Public School District school district spokesperson. He says the purpose of the event was to highlight and show appreciation to additional programs, services, and resources offered in the district. Today in history, on April 29th, back in 2004, the National World War II Memorial opens in Washington, D.C. Thousands of people are allowed to visit the monument to recognize the 16 million U.S. men and women who served in the war. The memorial, as we all know, is right between the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial. The Capitol Dome is seen to the east, and Arlington Cemetery is just across the Potomac River to the west. All right, so I have a sweet, bitter announcement for you all this morning. Sweet, but bitter. Today is my last day working with the WXVT team as a morning news anchor, reporter, and producer for Delta Daybreak. I know, sad. Bring out the tissues. I would, however, like to introduce Casey Freeman as the new morning anchor. Right here. She's going to do an amazing job. Casey, definitely tell the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Casey, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I recently graduated from Troy University in Alabama. I look forward to serving the community, and I'm excited to call Mississippi my new home.
All right, I don't know why, but I was nervous. I feel like it's my first day. Riley, what do you have to say about all of this?
I'm seeing double up here. I mean, they definitely match the outfits.
We did not plan this at all. I'm looking at the screen right now. This is the perfect setup. Riley, you're a lucky man.
I even wore my red tie.
We're all red out. Red with 2 D's. Did Riley? Candace red? All right, enough with the fun. Let's go ahead and take a quick look now at your morning Delta chat question. So, should professional athletes get paid more than teachers? Why or why not? Leave a message on our Facebook page. Your comment will be read live on air. Thanks as always for participating. Riley, what's your thoughts on this? Athletes paid more than teachers? You know, they just had the NFL draft now.
All right, so in America, we have capitalism as our form of our economy. So if it's lucrative, it gets paid more. And teachers, teaching's not a lucrative business, unfortunately. So they get left behind, and it's very sad.
Yeah.
And wish it was different. Because a lot of countries, they pay professional athletes like they pay doctors. Especially a lot of countries over in Europe, especially. And I wish you would see that here because, I mean, they're teaching our future.
Right.
So it's like, how do you not invest in that?
I agree, especially with the NFL draft. I mean, honestly, I was at home just relaxing, just chilling, about to watch Netflix, honestly. But then I got a call and someone was like, "Are you watching the draft?" I was like, no, not really, honestly. And I kind of felt bad. I felt like I had to make sure I watched it. So I tuned in, and I was just thinking about how much money all of these people are going to make. Definitely good for them. But what about the teachers who taught them in college? Yeah. What are they walking away with? What's your comment?
I definitely agree with Riley here, as well as yourself. I feel like teachers should be getting paid a lot more than what they do, especially since, you know, they're spending their 4 years, 5 years, sometimes even continuing their education.
Right.
And they're not really getting compensated for that, and they definitely should be. So.
Definitely agree. All right, well, you heard all of our thoughts up here. We want to know, what do you think? Definitely head over to our Facebook page. Riley, how's the weather? No rain.
Not right now. We're just staying cloudy, but we are going to be tracking some thunderstorms later today. So they could be on the strong to severe side. We'll be tracking that in the WXVT Weather Center, keeping you all updated. Thunderstorms just off to our west, pushing through Arkansas right now. That will be heading our way by later today, and we actually do have a very slight risk of severe weather, and I'll have more updates on that coming up.
All right, thanks, Riley. And definitely stay with us because we have your top health news stories after the break. We'll be right back.